No, I mean honestly, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it tomorrow.
I really hope he does, man. Please, all the good vibes right now. All the good vibes sent to fucking Tampa.
Yeah, Tom Brady, 46, still doing it. LeBron James, 36, still doing it. They're investing in their bodies, man. Heavily, both of them. It's insane. Tom Brady, arguably, three Hall of Fame careers. LeBron James, I mean, dude, you gotta start investing in your body, man. You have to start early.
You have one body, one mind. You gotta invest in it always. That's all you have. That's why some of them are so strict with their craft.
It's insane.
So beautiful to see.
That's kind of what inspired this whole and what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Franchise Audio.
Yo, thank you everybody for fucking tuning in again to another week. Welcome back. It's Jay
And Eddie. And this is what kind of
that's what your name
inspired.
is. Okay, good.
This is what kind of inspired the whole like little 10-week challenge that we're doing. Fitness. Getting back to it.
Yes. Oh, and Polo too. Thank you, Polo.
Yeah. Thanks, Polo, for getting us on this this basically 10-week diet and exercise that we're challenging each other to, just to start putting back good energy into the body.
Even though it's February and I'm still drinking coquito. I have a little bit poured in a cup here that a neighbor was so kind to give us. So
yeah,
shout out to that.
There's no way it's seasonal, and technically this is cheat day, I guess.
It's a little cheat something, you know.
Yeah.
Like you only get to live once. Every day is all you got. So you know,
Laughter's
just in case.
Laughter's important. Amongst like other things, I just think it's crazy how nutrition actually affects the body long term, and how you're eating and what you're doing like physically with your body basically invests in your longevity. Like it's so important. And go ahead.
No. What were you gonna say? 'Cause what I was gonna say is that it is important. I just hate that you can't eat quesadillas every day and be healthy. That's annoying. And cheesecake and shit like that.
Yeah, whoever made them so fucking delicious sucks. No, but honestly, it's there's a lot of like healthy lifestyles that you can start partaking in, like just to invest back in your body. And longevity wise, we live in an area where information's so accessible, so you see a lot of like bullshit, but there is like a complete, I guess, case study for what nutrition does to the body long term, and how people that are more physically fit and eat better lifestyles all in general just last longer.
It is a little undisputable. I know a lot of people say like, you know, a lot of the evidence that we have is geared towards animals and such.
Yeah.
Right? Because when we test it in humans, it's hard because in humans' life, there's so many other variables that you don't get when you're testing just a lab rat.
Yeah.
But it's also too undeniable how it has been shown to, like how you're saying, take care of your body, eat the right things. So like, you know, I guess more vegetables, you know, less, you know, like shitty carbs and things of that nature do help like you in the long term. Like it's, you know, like fruits are good for you. Vegetables are good for you.
Yeah.
And I'm a little biased on this topic lately more than ever because like you had said, like we have started like a recent like a, you know, fitness challenge amongst the boys, you know, a whole 10-week journey that, you know, we're embarking on. And I've also like rented a book at the library recently called The Longevity Code, and it's just like a book about science that like tries to put you on about like aging and like your nutrition and shit like that. So yeah. I'm a little, obviously it's a little bit more recency bias for me, but just a lot of cool shit that, you know, I've come to learn in the last like week, I would say, week and a half.
It's so easy, I guess, to say it because I really fucking like fruits in general and vegetables because they're actually pretty fucking delicious. But
you need to try a golden kiwi if you haven't.
Golden kiwi,
is amazing.
Cotton candy grapes. There's no way they're good for you.
No, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
There's no way they're good for you.
Cotton candy grape.
They're so delicious, but you know, just making like simple choices adds to just your well-being and your state of affair. I saw something that I looked at that I think a lot of people should look into and see how changing their lifestyles or their habits like can improve their quality of life. But I was looking at like information that was just like, don't consider yourself like unable to concentrate or unable to like feel like good or mentally like prepared and happy if you're not taking like into effect like what you're eating, how you're working out, Like, are you sleeping enough? Are you drinking plenty of water? Like, if you're not taking care of your body, like, think about how that's affecting your mental health too, you know? Subconsciously, I feel like sometimes we don't realize those things.
It's pretty safe. Like, I agree with you, right? Because it's pretty safe to say that we're at a point right now where, you know, we're not getting chased by fucking tigers and shit like that anymore, right? Unless a fucking, you know, the sun really does dry out like they say, or an asteroid hits us and, you know, takes us out like the dinosaurs. There's not much that's in our way of, like, you know, threatening our survival. So the only thing that really stands in between you and your survival, really, that's been shown, at least as of late, is your nutrition. Like, what you are putting into your body. Like, if you are just eating a bunch of Sour Patch Kids, like, and I fucking love Sour Patch Kids, but over time, all that sugar in you, it has shown to not be the best. And there's some motherfuckers, like, I know, like, for example, my girl's grandmother, she's like 90 something years old, and she eats like these hard, like, caramel candies that are super like sugary, and she's fine, and she's eating them for forever. Not everyone is that lucky though.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to it being like a two-way system. Like, you have to not take yourself too seriously and laugh and enjoy yourself, and, you know, the occasional like dabble in something like super unhealthy. Like, those things are, you know,
we only have one life also too.
So you got to enjoy those things, but it's also like a mental battle. Like, you need peace to really live like your life in a more fruitful way, because I think Naval is one of the people that advocate a lot for it and suggest it. But it's like, we say peace of mind, but it's more peace from mind.
Peace from mind, like away from your thoughts.
Yeah, like away from your thoughts, like away from your everyday stressors, or like away from like putting yourself in the future and the past a lot. And it's just like enjoying the moment for what it is, and peacefully getting there. That's what a lot of people wish for. And that's honestly, Buddhist monks last. Have you seen how long they last? Forever, with no desires. So I just find
in bed, in life, like,
no, in life,
how long they last,
the longevity that they have, and they're happy.
They live years and years.
Yeah, and they're happy.
Well, I would have
super happy.
Why didn't I think of that? Like, I'm sure a fucking
super
Buddhist,
happy.
Like, that has like no stress,
a lot of fitness,
and
a lot of fitness, no stress, and they eat really fucking healthy.
They are like typically a no stress lifestyle, right? Because they kind of try to live in isolation, right, for the most part,
away from desires,
away from material things.
Yeah, and it's funny how
that's so crazy,
so happy, so peaceful.
How can they do that?
I mean,
that is honestly like so fascinating.
It's honestly in the principle of their religion, Buddhism. A lot of like modern day I guess self-development through mental health is about Buddhist like principles, and like how acknowledging death is okay, and not being that like be the thing that like eats you up, and you consider it all the time and stuff like that, and you kind of make peace with that, and you kind of make peace with like certain things and desires, because you don't want everything, because abundance in a really unhealthy way is bad for you. So it's like mostly like modern day Buddhist principles.
Dude, my whole thing is just what fascinates
me.
It's like, how can someone just want to live a life of no desires at all? To like, it's tough, to give up everything the way they do, shave their head, do all of that.
I mean, it's really like how invested they are into that one desire, which is faith and Buddhism.
Religion.
Like that's the only thing.
Drive.
That you know what I'm saying? That's the driving factor. But that's, humans need desires in a way. Like, it's perfectly healthy to have desires. That's why modern day like proper like mental health is based around Buddhist principles, not like completely Buddhist lifestyles, because I think it's in everyday society nowadays, it's kind of hard not to have desires. Like, you want to have a desire because you have a purpose, a driving force.
Oh yeah, at least me, man. Like, I can't imagine being like just a person on this earth just being super desireless, like just nothing, just not wanting anything, besides wanting nothing. That's like a fucked up like paradox to me.
But it makes for a better like lifestyle and living when you have a few of them. So like,
for sure,
don't have a desire for your coffee to be cold or really hot. You take a sip and like your day is ruined because your coffee's not hot.
For sure, yeah.
Stuff like that. So I think having too many desires is what drives us a little bit to like, I guess a tougher mental battle, at least in everyday society, because it's like you said, there's nothing covertly like hindering us in survival. It's nutrition, and really it's mental like stability, because most heart attacks happen at 9 in the morning on Monday.
Yeah.
Stress.
Yeah, or
Stress related.
or being like, or another country like has bombing us in some way, like some type of nuclear warfare. But I guess a digital warfare
Yeah.
is more susceptible to happen.
I think and that's the other.
To not even get off topic, but like fuck it.
That's the other crazy thing. But I think about in the last 20 years, like how we've changed, how science has changed, technology has changed, and we're talking about in the next year and a half, Elon Musk might be putting chips in humans. Like that might be happening.
It's already in a pig.
And look at where we are, and look how quickly it happened. So the longevity of humans is getting, it's going to get kind of insane. We're gonna start living a lot more. I feel like as long as we take care of our health. And then we develop technology along with that. Like science is a technology. Medicine is a technology.
Yeah. Like I told you, like I was telling you about the book. I told you a little bit like off air, like about what book I was reading. And I told you guys like the longevity code, right?
Yeah.
This guy, Chris Verbergoff is his name. He goes on to say that with every day that we go on to live, it only adds to our life expectancy about 6 hours.
Yeah.
So think about that. That's pretty crazy. And like I told you, this motherfucker goes on to talk about basically we already have somebody that has been born that has the capability to live like 300 plus years
because the cells are getting better.
There's someone on this earth with that capability. Think about that.
Maybe that's the thing about science. I mean, eventually I think nothing will exist for the most part. Like eventually I think it's very like Brian Greene, physicist, we're talking about billions upon billions of years these physicists are coming up with, and eventually, just protons won't exist, so humans won't exist. But to live
into that theory, huh?
Because I think to live long enough to see that, we might be able to. Like as a species, we're gonna live for a long time as long as we don't kill each other. Don't you think? Like look at about the development as long as we take care of the planet and we don't kill each other, like we're about to get to Mars, man.
You think about to?
30 years away, maybe. 30 or 40, I'll put it there.
I saw a TikTok today, and it was like a video, and the caption is "Mars is beautiful," and it was like one of those fancy like 360 cameras that shows you like the whole like plane around you.
Yeah.
And it was just like very like desert-ishy, very like like beige clay, not too mountainy, but it did look kind of beautiful. But then I was kind of thinking to myself, like, what do we want from that place? Is there?
I think it's just to extend the human species intergalactically. Like that's what it's becoming.
That's crazy.
But that's what Elon Musk wants. I mean,
for what reason? Like I know some people say survival, or do you think it's really just capitalism, dog? Do you think motherfuckers are just really trying to see what's the next thing they can make money on?
Can it be both? Can it not be both?
It can be both.
It can be both.
It can for sure.
Capitalism,
be both.
I think, is what drives it.
But the thing is, if it's capitalism, then it can be cap. You know what I mean? Because they might just be giving us some bullshit.
Maybe. But I think Elon is serious about this. And Elon is serious about this because he's openly said he just wants the survival of the human race. And he doesn't want traffic in LA for the Boring Company. Because he lives there and works there.
That's the reason, yeah. I remember
and that's why I feel like
Joe Rogan's podcast that he was saying that he was building the tunnels under because of that.
There's a lot of traffic.
And he lives there. So he's like, fuck it, I don't want traffic where I live.
And he's smart enough to do it. And we have the science and the technology to do it. I think that's what's fascinating. I think we might get there as long as we start taking care of our bodies. And what specifically about nutrition that I guess the book highlighted to you?
Well, I'm still like in the... I'm like about halfway through the book, but what I just basically like is how it just goes, like a lot of the book is like just backed by like science, like a lot of just like scientific facts.
Like modern day studies.
Yeah, modern day studies, like old things that we've just seen from studies that have been conducted. I guess the coolest thing was just like how the author goes to say like in the laws of nature that we have, it's basically that immortality is a thing that could be possible.
Yeah.
We haven't achieved it, and we're not achieving it, but basically from what we've seen in nature in terms of like freshwater polyps, how our cells work, right? Like our reproductive cells in particular, like how I was like telling you, like, how is it that you can be 30 years old, right? And you have a baby with someone that's like 27 years old, but the baby comes out to be just a baby. It comes out to be, just an infant. It's not as old as your cells are.
Of course not.
Right? So it's like he goes to point out like different things like that in science that show like, immortality could be a thing.
Maybe.
And that basically like with a lot of like what we eat and what we do, it can start to like reverse that aging process. I'm in the part of the book right now though where they haven't really started talking too much about the nutrition in terms of like what you can do to eat.
Yeah.
More so what they're doing is just breaking down your nutrition like really deep into like your proteins, your carbs, how that works for your body, insulin, how that works, like how certain things can maybe be manipulated and reversed, you know, depending on how it is that you intake these certain like macronutrients into your body.
It's carbon-based life forms. That's what we are at the end of the day. So how we're fueling our bodies, because our bodies are just engines. They're machines, basically. Because we don't have to think about any of these processes happening.
Yeah, it's just happening in us, which is so beautiful.
And that's part of it that's kind of crazy. Like, as long as we're taking care of it, we're going to last. You know, as long as we're not killing each other and being responsible, like not fucking going... Like, Miami's tough, man, because I can't imagine that a lot of people don't die from car accidents here. Like, as long as you're being responsible and stuff like that, like, you're going to make it probably a long time.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you're taking care of yourself.
I don't think so.
You know what I mean? As long as you're taking care of your body, working out, eating right, and peace, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know, I was reading a book too.
How long? Okay, what I want to just ask you real quick is, how long would you want to live for, though?
That's the tough part about being human, right? At what part does it, like...
Do you say enough is enough, I guess, without it sounding too
tired?
dark?
Or is it your body that... I want to live for a while, man. I want to see a lot of shit.
Yeah, I want to live for... I mean, I really want to live for as long as I can. Like,
I want to see
realistically.
so much. You know what I mean?
But then I think about, like, I don't want to outlive everyone I love too then. Because then it's like, I'm just, like, here. You know, like, you know what I mean? I have to start meeting new motherfuckers. Like,
that's part of being human. That's why it's so important. Like, life happens to you, and you have to assimilate that in the best way possible. Because stress is one of those things that's going to get you. It's one of those things that are going to get you. And you have to... so the book I was reading, which is perfect transition into what I was saying, is I'm reading right now Man's Search for Meaning. Mm-hmm. And it's a book about a psychologist that survived Auschwitz. A psychologist.
What is Auschwitz for those motherfuckers? I don't know what it is.
So Auschwitz, if you guys don't know, is one of the concentration camps that the Nazis... The worst concentration camp that Nazi Germany made back in World War II. So in this concentration camp, this guy somehow survives. And I mean somehow by like the speck of hair. And the book is beautifully written because even though he went through Auschwitz, he still found meaning and purpose. And no matter how traumatic his life was, he still was able to like find fulfillment. And that's the part of, I guess, psychology to me that's so interesting. Of course, it's not like a real science, but it's something that's studyable.
I think it's a real science.
The human mind is really studyable, and I think technology will eventually get psychology to be a real science if you could somehow measure it. We would have to understand a lot of it, though. But I think it could get there. And anyway, where I was going with that is, like, can you imagine that? This guy's life was traumatic and still found meaning, still found purpose, still found enrichment and humor in it. And he broke down the psychology of the human mind so beautifully. And you could tell, like, in a way, like, we really are conscious animals that have developed so much over the years that we have an incredible understanding of the world around us and ourselves in a way that's like insane. And we're so civilized now. Like things like Auschwitz don't happen, but it's like this happened for real.
I can't even imagine meeting someone from that time.
Yeah, it's and
being able to speak to someone that went through that like traumatic experience.
But he found he found fulfillment in everything else. And can you imagine if along that you take care of your body, you have peace of mind, you don't have that many desires, you know what I mean? Like you end up having so much life, you know what I mean? In a really beautiful way, like you just enjoy life for the simplicities of it.
If we can get a time machine and go back and kill baby Hitler, just give him a real good strangle, are we doing it or not?
That's a question I find fascinating, right? Because what changes the trajectory of like history? And this is why I think no matter what theories like physicists have about parallel dimensions and different like timelines and stuff like that being able to be measured, no matter how like crazy physicists get on stuff like that, because it sounds crazy, and this is what I mean. Reality is like, it's really stranger than fiction. Like, and that's what I don't think people understand about physics. Reality is stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
And how matter is made and what that particle field is, like Higgs boson, is insane. And real physics, no matter how crazy they get, that they say that there's timelines that are measurable and stuff like that. I don't want to believe in those things because we don't have a way of going back in time and
so
doing those things.
So who gives a fuck, right?
So how is it possible to measure anything else? Which is so important to learn from our mistakes.
I know, but I just like the fact of going back in time and killing baby Hitler.
Dude,
that would murk that motherfucker stupid.
Yeah, man.
Crazy. I do him crazy. A little baby. I don't give a fuck.
And this is the part that fascinates me, I guess, about humans. And it's just like, he was really a sick fuck. Because I don't know if he thought he was evil.
You don't think so? You really think he didn't think he was evil? You think he was doing it for like the good of mankind?
No, of course not. But can you imagine, like, what the fuck was he thinking? How do you get there?
I would love to be able to research his, study his brain and to see if like Hitler had any type of like dementia or any signs of like brain deterioration.
I don't know, but he was a sick fuck, and look how far he got. Like, look how much power he had.
And I feel like a part of me wants to think that maybe it just got a little out of hand, you know, and like maybe I don't think he really thought it was gonna get that big, man.
No,
like to be able to mobilize the way he did, dog.
Oh, dude. And he
like
was a
thousands of soldiers
liar,
to kill millions of people.
You know,
that's crazy.
Since we're on the topic of books, and talking to strangers is something I find so interesting. And Malcolm Gladwell wrote this fucking masterpiece. If you guys haven't read it, Malcolm Gladwell and Coquito. If you guys haven't read it, Malcolm Gladwell, talking to strangers, he goes into how Churchill went and spoke with Hitler.
Yes, and Hitler hit him with the okie dokie, right?
And lied to him successfully. And look what he caused. So
oh my god, so crazy though. Yeah. Fuck. Dad.
Which is why
maybe he did know all of it was gonna go exactly to plan. Which is also crazy to me.
No, you know, this is why I think like talking to strangers and understanding is so important. And Malcolm Gladwell breaks it down in a very like, I guess it's easily digestible way. So
very smart guy, Malcolm, for sure.
So for when he breaks down, and I know we completely went off topic, but I find this incredibly interesting.
It needs to be shared. We're sharing it for a reason, guys.
He just talks about how like alcohol in different cultures is not the same in the way you communicate like in America. And
alcohol in different cultures is not
people don't get angry in different cultures how they do in America and stuff like that.
Okay, they just get excited and they just take that energy and keep it positive. Instead of breaking a chair over a motherfucker's head or some shit.
So
why are we so aggressive over here?
That's one thing. Then he talks about like how like suicide rates were insane during the UK when they had a gas stove still. Insane. With Sylvia Plath, the poet.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so she went into the oven and that's how she took her own life. And when they took away gas ovens, suicide rates dropped completely. So like he asks a lot of important questions in that book that I feel like people should look into and just read, because it would be like incredible to look different perspective wise on certain like I guess traumas. And
the best thing I can tell you about Malcolm Gladwell, right, is if you're someone that gives even 1% a fuck about anything in the world, right, I would recommend looking into that author and reading some of his work, because that is an individual with a very interesting mind, right? He ends up doing the research for you and just presents to you information, right? And then it's ultimately up to you.
It's pretty objective.
It's objective, and then always like with anything in life, it's up to you to make a decision on the information that you're presented. But he's definitely someone that takes all the smart shit, like not all the smart shit, but some of the smart shit in the world that you want to break down, right? In terms of it. And it gives it to you in a way that you can digest it and consume it. And I like that book. I never ended up finishing it. Definitely a book I'm gonna go back into, but it's definitely it's a good read, man. It's a good it's just such good information.
And so this is where I wanted to go with that. He wrote Outliers, which is that's where the 10,000 hour rule, like the study of the
Outliers,
to become an expert at something.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, LeBron James, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, experts in their craft. Insane amount of time they put in, experts at another level in their craft. And Tom Brady tomorrow is going to hoist up the Super Bowl trophy, man. And that's how we go from nutrition to space to making it there to Tom Brady. That guy's 46, still throwing the ball, and I can't believe it.
Pops, relax. He's not 46. He's 43. But he's still 43.
That's true, man. And he's still playing at a level I can't believe it. It has to be peace. Aaron Rodgers just had an MVP season, and on an interview with Dan, he literally talked about how presence of mind and meditation like got him to be like where he's at this year.
It sucks that Brady had to tuck him away for the season.
I can't believe it. Yeah.
Well, Brady in the defense, because Brady didn't have the best game that game. But, supposedly Brady does crazy shit like not eat bananas and stuff like that. Like, he just has like a crazy diet, I don't want to say eats like a bird, but supposedly he just eats like... Can you imagine just not eating bananas and just...
Yeah, that's kind of fucking tough.
Like, very specific. Like, now I don't want to say like a Dr. CB type of diet that he has, but he has a very like specific diet like that is very specific for his body to fuel it. And I mean, you can kind of see it pay out. Someone at his age, where a lot of quarterbacks are accepting like Hall of Fame, like awards. At 43, like a lot of quarterbacks are accepting Hall of Fame awards, right?
Just knocking on the door.
Exactly. He's in the Super Bowl and he's doing. It's just nasty. Tom Brady, I love you. God damn it.
What?
Fuck.
What do you mean you love him?
I love him. He's just to be so committed to his craft the way he's been. Yeah. It's just crazy, bro. The fact that it just goes to show that his diet and his whole like lifestyle works out, because for someone at that age to be able to get hit the way he gets hit still in a time where quarterbacks are accepting a Hall of Fame award.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's nuts, bro. It's nuts.
LeBron James is on the same thing though, and it's dirty. Like feeling like Tom Brady's gonna win tomorrow, and I'm not rooting for him, but I would like to see him do it. As a Dolphins fan, it kind of sucks, but he's just good. He's good
fan, it doesn't suck. As a Dolphins fan, we deserve what we've worked for, and like basically what we've gotten. We deserve, because that's what we've worked for. Yeah, and I mean,
he's been gross.
You can be ashamed of that, or you can be proud of it. But
he has incredible mental health too.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
The fact that he has to on the field. The fact that he can come in with a whole new team and do the same things that he was doing with his past team, that shows mental solidarity for me.
Yo, I find it insane. He has the "Make America Great Again" hat and everything, and no one has a word about that. He walks away squeaky clean about that.
It's Tom Brady, man.
It's Tom Brady. Brady. It's just insane to me. And on this year, where he literally stepped away from Bill Belichick and the Patriots.
Yep.
And everyone thought that was done. And look what he does. I find it kind of incredible that we're upon a Super Bowl with Tom Brady in it again.
Tom Brady, to me, is just really another example of just like compound growth or interest. Just the fact that you can if you consistently do something, I don't even want to say excellence, but at least something good is going to follow. In his case, it's been excellence, and look what excellence has gotten.
Drew Brees.
That's why I said I love you, Tom Brady, because you deserve my love.
I believe that. Has won. And Drew Brees has been so nasty for so long too.
Super, bro. Have you seen those?
And Tom Brady has so many. He's ready to go tomorrow too. This is why I find it insane that like we're among like specimen, and we keep getting stronger, faster. Like you see it. Maybe not every single person, but as long as you're doing the right things, look at the human body go.
Look at Saquon Barkley.
Look at the human body go.
Look at Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah. And this is why I think taking care of your body, investing
faster,
in it, and these are incredible. Like these are exceptions, of course. We're not trying to get to that level, but understanding that there is a level that you could take your body to as far as feeling and executing.
Well, as long physicality too.
Anything.
Look at LeBron, man. Like just the fact that he's only really had like one injury in like his career. Like he's been injury-less. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Spending over $1 million a year on your body. Do you even know what I can't even imagine what that looks like, man. Spending over $1 million on your body every year.
Meditation, peace of mind.
Meditation does not fucking cost you no fucking $1 million.
I'm saying meditation, peace of mind, and a healthy body. It'll take you wherever you want to go. Like legitimately. And knowledge, like those 4 things.
Yeah.
That might be it. Like I'm saying, if you want to go as far as wherever your mind wants to take you, you're going to get there probably. You're going to last a while, dude. As long as nothing crazy happens like nuclear warfare and like another world war and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
It just sucks that we have to eat like
No,
like
but
we have to eat stupid shit to get there sometimes.
No,
Like
no,
sometimes
no.
I want to eat like a dirty smash burger.
bro, look at the
Or I
Rock.
want to eat like
Look at the Rock.
Yeah, look at The Rock, but what about him? He's just a fucking sensational human being, a movie
Yeah,
star,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
ex-wrestler. But like
I
he's
mean,
not he's not a
that's-
fucking doctor. What the
Yeah,
fuck does
he's-
The Rock know?
No, right. That's
Well, I
true.
mean, what the fuck do we know too? But I don't know. Like, you know, like
Okay.
if you're gonna say something, say look at Dr. Oz, maybe. You know, look at The Rock. Maybe
what
look
you're
at him though. He's a specimen.
No.
Definitely
He
a
has to be
specimen.
the Rock might be on roid, so he might be a bad example. But
You think so?
I
We're
don't
just
know.
gonna do that on The Rock?
I don't want to do that on the Rock. But I think of I think Naval like Ravikant basically stated like something factual, like you either become a philosopher or you live old enough to like see yourself become one.
Yeah.
Because you have to have like this certain like level of peace in your life as life happens to you. And if your body looks like doesn't have to look like The Rock, but if your body doesn't look like something that's gonna like hinder it,
Yeah.
heart disease and all this stuff, you're gonna see like space, dude. You're gonna see Mars.
I definitely want to
30 years, man. That's what I give it. But that's just me, I guess. That's me being hopeful that Elon gets competition and then humans just say fuck it. Or we're at Mars now.
I definitely want to get out of a space though where we, I guess, not glorify, but we kind of like accept like obesity culture, you know, and telling people like, oh, like your body is beautiful no matter what. It's like you're a beautiful person, quote unquote, no matter what. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But in terms of like your body and such, like I feel like you shouldn't. Like I feel like that's like it's almost a lie because it's not. Because if you're allowing yourself to get to a certain point, you're really killing yourself, man. And I feel like we
like
need to get
science-wise, yeah. No, literal like science.
you're killing yourself.
Yeah.
You
No, I get
really
what you're
are.
saying.
So I feel like we need to get out of that, like just glorifying and saying like, oh, all like not that not all sizes are beautiful, but like to a certain point, it's just not healthy. And I feel like that is a conversation that's okay that can be had.
I know, I get what you're saying, and the whole part is that like you don't. There's no ideal body. Is I think what we need to start accepting. There's no ideal body.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
There's no ideal body. Everybody looks different. It's about being healthy, like incorporating health into your lifestyle.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
you.
I don't think so much it's obesity culture. I don't know if people are the people that extreme now. I don't know.
I don't know about that
really-
extreme, but I've seen like on TikTok, like I've seen like you see a good amount of that, like
Oh yeah.
of
No,
you know
look.
that apologists
Yeah,
towards like weight and shit like that, and I'm just kind of like, really, like we're gonna do all that?
Yeah, look, honestly, the first thing we talked about is stress. Like that's the main killer.
Yeah.
Right? If you're stressed, that will kill you first, then obesity for sure. Like it'll give you a heart attack or an aneurysm.
Oh yeah, no, I believe it.
And
If yeah,
you
I've
know
got
what I
a
mean?
news sometimes that
But
just made
obesity is
the hairs
another
on my
killer.
back stand
Like
up.
obesity is another killer, like a big one. And I don't think it's so much about. It's just about like having a healthy lifestyle,
Yeah, it goes back to what we've been talking about
which
in
is
this
just
episode.
working out 3 to 5 times like a week. It's nothing crazy. It's just putting your body in a place that
And working out can be walking. It can be walking out of your
Literally
front
anything.
door,
Yeah.
walking around the block or wherever you can, like around the
and it's not even
a
obsessing
plaza,
over it.
a park,
It's
anywhere.
not even obsessing over it. It's just,
Yeah, just
making
walking,
sure
just
you're
getting up and
incorporating
moving.
Health, like some cardiovascular exercise, whether that's lifting weights, whatever you want to do, 3 to 5 times a week, like proven by science, 3 to 5 times a week. Because eventually, over time, if you keep doing it and if you don't give up, like you're going to feel healthier. Now, to get yourself there to the gym, like you have to have good mental health, like because it takes discipline, it takes like a bunch of other things. But I think the gym incorporates and helps out with mental health and vice versa. Like the more like mentally healthy you are, you want to go back to the gym or like work out or walk or do whatever like physical activity. Like do yoga. Yoga's insane, man. People gotta respect yoga.
I need to start hitting yoga, man. I really do.
LeBron does a lot of yoga.
Does
actually.
he?
Yeah. Yep.
Really?
A lot of it.
Fuck, bro. I need to get on that, dog.
Yeah,
There's
because
just nowhere around me right now that at least that I know that I can get some yoga.
COVID times are tough.
For
But-
yoga class, right?
I mean, there's not a lot, but there's yoga places are open.
But we
There's
are in
just smaller
Miami. I
classes.
feel like we can
Green
find
Monkey,
it.
wherever you want. But
Yeah?
this is not sponsored. But yeah, Green Monkey.
But,
Winwood
like,
Yoga Studios.
I don't like going. I don't like going down to Winwood, but Winwood's a hassle, dog.
Bro, I've done hot yoga there, and it's like Oh man,
You have to get
it's
like naked
peaceful.
and shit or no?
No, of course not. What the fuck?
You just keep it civilized.
Fucking, what do you mean you have to get?
I don't know.
Yoga?
Like it's fucking. I don't know. You're
No,
hot
bro.
yoga. I don't know.
It's hot yoga. It's just you're in bamboo walls and the heater's on,
Shit.
and you're breathing
And doing all
stretching.
and moving and doing all that crazy
It's
shit.
insane,
Right?
but
That's what I'm
it's-
saying. Nah.
It's
Fuck.
insane, but
Yeah, I need to get on
incorporating
that.
something like that, yo.
If you do, anyone that listens to this that does do any yoga that has any suggestions for us, or at least for me,
Yeah,
please
I
kick it out to us. DM us, message us, email us. Just let us
I'm
know of a
interested.
good spot. Yeah, I'm super interested
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm interested. And even yoga. I mean, Peloton. Look at Peloton.
That whole bike shit, at home bike.
The whole at-home bike thing. Look at how it's developed over the years. Like technology
That's a
improving
lick,
your
yep.
life. Like a technology improving
Yep.
your life. And now look how the company has grown.
Yeah. Nah, Peloton is a lick.
Which, speaking of companies, there's a company that just lost probably one of the most famous CEOs ever.
For sure.
One of the richest people ever.
Oh my god.
And this is your money tree section. Jeff Bezos just resigned from CEO from Amazon.
Yep. Stepped into like a executive
Like executive role.
like an executive role. You know,
Yeah.
someone that doesn't have to really worry
to
about
work.
the CEO day-to-day bullshit. You know, he gets to now worry about his other projects like Blue Origin's going into space. He also owns the Washington Post. I don't know if you fucking knew that, but that's
insane.
nasty. At first,
insane.
when I heard the news that Jeff Bezos
Fucking
was gonna step down, my heart hurt like a little bit because like it's just I'm so used to him being the CEO and everything works for him being the CEO. So I'm like, I'm good with that. But I don't subscribe into like the whole like this guy ruins businesses and shit. Even though there has been things that have shown.
Yeah, look,
that
I don't know
have
who he
happened,
is as a
but
person.
I don't know.
Like in the terms of like
yeah.
how his company has grown, like
Yeah.
the things that this could be for the space race, the next space race, which is intergalactic humans.
well, like us getting to space really and
This
just
is gonna
doing
be
shit.
insane. Like
Yeah.
giving competition to Elon and all the other brains of the world.
Yeah, because he said like he's now wants to like focus more on like Blue Origins, which is his space company, and like and see what's up with that. And I honestly believe that he's gonna put like the same amount of compassion and like work ethic that he was putting into Amazon now into this. And I honestly feel like this is gonna pop off and it's really gonna take off.
And the next race, and we're gonna be technology is gonna be so insane in hundreds of years, Jay.
Yes.
And people listening, like, legitimately, look at the how over year
Yeah.
technology is advancing, and look at the things that are becoming possible. And
Yeah.
look at electric vehicles,
Yeah.
for example, autonomous driving. Like, we may get to the point that hundreds of years from now, this Jetson shit might just not be like animation. For real. Like, we may be over there. Look at things like Brightline, like the Brightline train.
I can't
From here to
fucking wait
Miami.
for that.
From
bro.
here to Orlando in an hour.
That's
That's,
how much do you think that's worth? That to me is worth a lot of money.
dude, if I'm not mistaken, Brightline is by Richard Branson.
Wow.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, motherfucker, you're taking forever to get this shit done, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
God
yeah.
damn.
Well,
Like,
they
I've
had
been
to
hearing
stop
about
it
this
because of
Brightline
COVID.
shit for forever.
They had to stop it because of COVID. They stopped production. on it.
It's so safe to say that this COVID shit
It's
has fucked
derailing
everything.
Oh, that's
Has fucked everything.
yeah.
Literally.
It's derailing a lot of projects.
Wow. I'm sorry that I didn't even hear that the first time. That would have gone right over my head.
Yeah,
Shit.
I'm gonna do it again. But honestly, I think just like where we're trending in the future is insane. Elon Musk, actually, I saw this today. Elon Musk offered Major Suarez like a deal
Yeah.
to build underground
I had seen
electric
some shit.
vehicle
Yeah.
tunnels.
Yeah, I had seen
Underground electric vehicle tunnels in Brickell to relieve traffic. Like, look at what we're getting.
I'm with all this innovation, all
Yeah.
this disruptive innovation, shaking up shit. Like I'm with all of that. Like like let's bring the tunnels down here. Let's fill them with electric vehicles, electric trains. You know what I mean? Let's do hydrogen powered engines. What do we got? Let's see it.
Yeah. How can we keep this planet safe?
Yeah,
And take it into the future?
yeah.
And let's do it in a clean way, and let's do it with tech. And that's what it's becoming. That's what it's becoming. And this episode has been about how the fuck do we get there? How do we get to the future? Longevity, mental health, investing. This has been Eddie.
This is Jay. Everyone, thank you so much for fucking tuning in. And until next time, everybody, see ya.
Franchise out.